Hello students. So in the previous classes we had discussed the graphical representation of the equation of motion. The first equation of motion with the help of the graph we had discussed, as well as the second equation of motion, and that is S is equals to ut plus half at square is also derived with the help of the graph. Now we will come to the next one, and that is the last one, that is the third equation of motion, which is v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Okay. Now see here, again we are considering that the same velocity time graph. I'm repeating it again so that you can understand that this AO is the initial velocity. It means the body, it travels from A to O with some velocity, and finally it accelerates, or it moves in a uniform and with a uniform acceleration from A to B. Okay, so this BD is the final velocity, or we can say this BC, from here to here it will be the final velocity. At this point, this is the final velocity and this one is the initial velocity. The time taken by the body to travel from O to that of the C, that is equals to the B, travel to reach up to B, that is equals to T here. Okay. Now we'll see that how with the help of this graph we are able to derive this equation. Okay, one more thing is there, this AB is actually representing the slope of the graph, and the slope of the graph is equals to the acceleration. Why is it so? Because you see, this is a velocity time graph. So in velocity time graph, the slope of the velocity time graph represents the acceleration. And since it is a straight line, so we can say this AB is actually representing the uniform acceleration. Okay, so this velocity time graph for a body moving with a uniform acceleration A and travel a distance S with the time T. Okay, now see here, the distance traveled by the body from point A to B, the distance. Earlier we had discussed about the same thing, that if suppose we want to calculate the distance, then we have to calculate the area covered by the body. Okay, and what is that area? This area is from OABC. This area is actually the covered by the body, help in calculating the data of the distance. So now see here, this is the area of the trapezium. So we had discussed that the distance is measured by with the help of this trapezium. So if we are able to cover the area of, calculate the area of trapezium, we are able to find the distance traveled by it. So before that also we had discussed that how can we calculate this area. So we had calculated with the help of by adding the triangle, the area of the triangle by AOCD, and that of the this is the rectangle, I'm sorry, this is the rectangle. So by calculating the area of the rectangle, that is AOCD, and by calculating the area of the triangle of ABD, and when we calculate both of the area, then we will add both of them. By this we are able to find the area AOBC. Now again we can calculate this area AOBC by another method. How? You know that this area is actually having the two parallel sides. One is AO and the other one is BC. Okay, so two parallel line is there, so it is what? It is a trapezium which is having a two parallel line, and to calculate or to find the area of trapezium, we know that the area of trapezium is what? Area of trapezium So area of trapezium is equals to half into sum of the parallel of the side. Wait a second, let me write here. Area is equals to half into sum of the parallel side into time. Okay, so this is the into base, I'm sorry. Base into height. Actually the height is the base, so I had written here base. So area of the trapezium is the half into sum of the parallel side into height. Okay, now see here, we have to find the distance traveled by the body, and that we can calculate with the area of this trapezium, that is OABC. So S is equals to area of trapezium, and that is OABC. Okay, so this is the area of trapezium. Now see here, right now we discuss the area of trapezium is equals to half into sum of the parallel side. So what are the two different sum of the parallel side is, that is OA plus another one is BC, so BC into height. So what is the height here? This is the height, so into OC. Okay, so this is the area of trapezium. Now we will put the value here. So half into OA, and you know OA is what? Is the initial velocity, and this initial velocity is represented by U. So half into U, one second, half U plus this BC is actually representing the final velocity. So U plus V into OC. OC is what? Is the time. Okay, so we represent it by time. So half U plus V into T. This is the area of the trapezium. Now see here. Now see here, in the first equation of motion, we studied that V is equals to U plus AT, or V minus U is equals to AT, or V minus U upon A is equals to T. So the value of the T is V minus U upon A is equals to T. So we can put this value in this equation again. So see here, that half U plus V minus U upon A. Okay, or we can write it like half or V minus U into V plus U upon 2A. Okay, so you know the formula, that is A square minus B square. So A square minus B square is equals to A plus B and A minus B. The same here also, V minus U, V plus U, or we can say V plus U, V minus U. So this is also equals to V square minus U square. So we can write it here like V square minus U square. Okay, so this is the equation. Now see here, we are calculating this with S. We are calculating the distance travel. So distance travel S is equals to V square minus U square upon 2A, or 2AS is equals to V square minus U square, or v square minus u square is equals to 2as. So this is the third equation of motion with the help of the graph, that is v square minus u square is equals to 2as. Okay, so this is the end of the graphical equation of motion. So we had discussed the equation of motion with that is all the three type of equation, and again we had discussed the this equation of motion with the help of the graph, and both of these equations to derive is very important because this will come in the exam many times. Okay. Now we will come to the last topic of this chapter, and that is uniform circular motion. So when we talk about a circular motion, before that we should know what is circular motion. So with this term you are able to understand that circular, it means circle. So when a body or an object is moving in a circle or moves in a circle, it is called a circular motion. Okay. So before we understand that, we should know that this circular motion, it means it is always changing the direction. So how a body which is moving in a circle changes the direction? So suppose an athlete is there, okay, and that athlete is running in a square track. Okay, so this is A, this is B, this is C, this is D. The direction is here, then again here, then here, then here. Okay, so you see that while running along the square track, which is having the four sides, the athlete has to change the direction of motion. And that direction of motion is from when it was moving in a to B, the direction of motion is this. When it is moving from B to C, then again the second time it changes the direction. Then again is third time it changes the direction, then fourth time. So almost 4 times, or at the 4 corners of the square, he has to change its direction. Not only with this, if suppose we are having any other kind of a track like that of a pentagon, which is having a 5 sides. So this is A, B, C, D, E and F. So if an athlete started running from this side, so at first he was in this direction, then he changes the direction, again he changes the direction, again he changes the direction, and 5 times he changes the direction, since the side of this track is 6 hexagonal track. Okay, and if suppose this track is octagonal, okay, cannot make it properly. Okay, so see here, so every time 8 times this athlete have to change his direction, and finally if the track is circular, so every time that athlete have to change his direction. Okay, so see here now that the direction of the motion, when the athlete run along the circular track, then his direction of motion is changes continuously. So we say that when a body is moving along a circular path, then his direction of motion keep changing continuously. So if the athlete move with a constant speed along the circular path, then the velocity of the athlete will not be constant, because the velocity in a speed is in a specified direction, and here the direction of the speed changes continuously. And we know that when the velocity changes, maybe due to the continuous change in the direction, the motion along the circular path is said to be accelerated, because if there is a change in the velocity, this will create that acceleration. So that body which is moving along the circular path, we said it is accelerating. Okay, it is accelerated. So we can say that or we can define the uniform circular motion that when a body move in a circular path with a uniform speed or with a constant speed, its motion is known as a uniform circular motion. Okay, you can see here by this definition that if a body moves in a circular path with a uniform speed, its motion is called as a uniform circular motion. Okay, so we are saying that when a body it moves in a circular path with a uniform speed, it is traveling or it shows the uniform circular motion. Okay, but you see the velocity of the body which is moving in a circle with the uniform speed, it is not uniform throughout. It is because you see the direction of the motion is continuously changing. Okay, so since the direction of the motion is constantly changing, it will be not uniform throughout. We can understand with the help of an example that suppose this is a point A and this is a point B. Okay, and suppose we tie a ball or tie a stone to a thread and rotate that stone in a circular path with the uniform speed. Okay, now when the like this, okay, so when the stone is at point A, then the speed is directed towards the west side, and when the stone is at the B point, then the direction is towards the south. So if suppose the stone is released at this point and that is A, then it will fly off in the west direction. And when we say that this stone is released at point B, then the same stone is fly off in the south direction. So this means that when a body moves in a circular path, the direction of the speed is not the same at any of the 2 points. Okay, so since there is a change in the direction of the speed of the body, velocity is not uniform. Okay, because here the direction is continuously changing. So velocity is the speed is in the specified direction until and unless it is moving in a particular direction in a equal distance, equal interval of a time. We can say this is following that is showing the uniform velocity. Okay, so there is a change in the direction of the speed, so velocity is not uniform. So it is clear that when a body move in a circle with the uniform speed, its velocity changes continuously. So the motion in a circle is accelerated, or we can say that circular motion is accelerated even though the speed of the body remains the constant. We are continuously moving it with the same speed, but since there is a change in the direction, and you know the change in the direction, it means change in the velocity also, and change in velocity will create the acceleration. So even then it is moving with the constant speed, but the motion that is accelerated. Okay. Now one more thing is there, and that is centripetal force. Centripetal force. Centripetal force. Now what is centripetal force? What happens when a body is moving in a circular motion? A force is always needed for it to move that body in a circle. Now, so we can take example of this one only. When we tie that stone and the thread, then what we have, when the stone is tied, it is rotated by the person and in the circular path. So to pull the thread so that it can move in the circular motion or in a circle, there is a need of a force, and this force makes the stone to move in a circle. Okay, so that force which is needed to make an object to travel in a circular path is called the centripetal force. Okay, so this kind of a centripetal force you can see in case of a sun. The sun, in case of the planets they revolve around the sun. So the centripetal force, it is the gravitational pull of the sun. In case of the satellite also, it is also moving along the earth, so it is also moving in along that of the it is also moving in showing the circular motion. Okay, so these are actually the centripetal force. So we can define the centripetal force is the force which is needed to make an object travel in a circular path. Okay, so this is a centripetal force. So we can say a body, when it is moving along a path which is along a circle path, a force start acting on it, and that force is known as a centripetal force. Now we will see some of the examples of the uniform circular motion. So if you see the first example, that is of the artificial satellite. So you see the artificial satellite or the man-made satellite, it moves in a uniform circular motion around that of the earth. Okay, so when an artificial satellite, it goes around the earth or it moves around the earth, so here it is moving in a circle. So the earth that motion is actually a circular motion. How? Because this satellite goes around the earth in a circular orbit with the constant speed. So speed is constant, but velocity is not constant at all, and it is because that the direction of the motion of the satellite is continuously changing. Okay, so the speed remains the constant, but the velocity is not constant at all. Okay, so we can say that the motion of the satellite around the earth is accelerated. Okay. Now one more thing is there, the gravitational force from that of the earth make the satellite stay in the circular orbit around the earth. Since the velocity changes, so it gains the acceleration, but it is because of the force of the gravity of the earth which keep the satellite in the circular orbit around it. We can take an example of another one, a natural satellite. Right now we were talking about the artificial satellite. We can take an example of a natural satellite also. So you see the natural satellite of the earth, like that of the moon. So moon also move in a uniform circular motion around the earth. So as it is moving in the circular motion around the earth, so speed remains the constant, but the velocity is continuously changes, due to which the motion of the moon around the earth is accelerated. And again it is because of the force of the gravity of the earth which is acting on the moon, it keeps the moon in the circular orbit around it. So there are a lot of celestial body, it shows the circular motion. We can take an example of an electron also. You see the electron also revolve around the nucleus, and it is having the acceleration. Because of the circular motion, it get accelerated. The motion of the blade of the windmill, just because of the change of the direction, it get the accelerated, start moving fast. Okay, now see here the tip of the second hand of the watch. they also, that tip of the second hand of watch also exhibit the uniform circular motion on the circular dial. So this second hand also shows the uniform circular motion, although the speed of the tip of the second hand is, again, it is constant, but velocity it is not constant, because the direction of the motion of the tip of the second is continuously moving, so it is changing the direction along that of the watch. So thus the motion of the tip of the second hand of the watch is accelerated. Now see here, we already had talked about the uniform linear motion, and now we were discussing about the uniform circular motion. So what is the basic difference between that of the uniform linear motion and uniform circular motion? So in case of a uniform linear motion, the direction of the motion is fixed. Okay, so uniform linear motion. So in uniform linear motion, the direction of the motion remains fixed. Okay, so uniform motion, in a uniform linear motion, the direction of the motion it remains fixed, but in case of a uniform circular motion, the direction is changes continuously. So due to the direction of the motion it remains fixed, the uniform linear motion is not accelerated. It is not accelerated. Okay, but here due to the change in the direction it is always accelerated. Okay, so this is the important characteristic of the circular motion, is that the direction of the motion changes continuously, and this is the basic difference between that of the uniform linear motion to that of the uniform circular motion. Now we will come and see the another one, that is how to calculate the speed of the body in a uniform circular motion. Okay, so now see here, if suppose this is the circle I am drawing here. So if a body it takes one round of a circular path, then it travel a distance equals to the circumference. Circumference of the circle is what? This is the circumference. So if a body is moving or completing, started from here and finally it reaches here. Okay, so the distance traveled by the body is actually equals to the circumference, and you know the circumference of the circle is represented by 2 pi r, where r is the radius of this circular path. Okay, so we can say that the speed of the body which is moving along the circular path is equals to what? Speed. If suppose we write for the speed is equals to distance upon time. If a body is moving in a circular path, then distance will be the circumference of the path, and the circumference of the path is equals to 2 pi r. So we calculate the speed of the body which is moving along the circular path is equals to 2 pi r upon t. Okay, so we can represent this s also, or speed by s, as well as we can represent the speed by v. So v is equals to 2 pi r upon t, or S is equals to 2 pi r upon t. The value of pi is equals to 22 upon 7. Okay. Now there are some questions related to that of the uniform circular motion. So see here, suppose a person takes a round of circular park whose diameter is 140 meters. So this is the circular park and this is the diameter, that is 140 meter. So what is the distance covered by the park? So we have to find the distance, and you know by the formula that is distance is equals to 2 pi r upon t. Okay, so see here, 2 pi r upon t. So at first we should know what is the radius. So diameter is 140 meter, so radius will be the half of the diameter, that is equals to 70 meter. Now put the value here, 2 pi r. So the distance traveled by distance is equals to 2 pi r. Okay, so 2 into 22 upon 7 into 70. 2 into 22 upon 7 into 70. This will be equals to 10. 440 meter will be the answer. Again, one more example is there. That suppose a person take a round of a circular park and the diameter of that circular park is again 140 meter in 2 minutes. Okay, so time is also given here. Now what we have to find? We have to find the distance covered by the person and what is the speed of the person. So before that we had calculated the same type of a question. So again you see here, at first we have to find the distance travel. So distance travel is equals to 2 pi r. So this is the diameter, so radius will be just half of 140 and that will be equals to 70. So 2 pi r, it means 2 into 22 upon 7 into 70, that will be equals to 440 meter. So 440 meter will be the distance covered by that of the person. Now we have to find the speed of the person. So speed is equals to what? Speed is equals to distance upon time, or speed is equals to 2 pi r upon time. Okay, so see here, see the time taken is given in minutes, so we have to convert the minute into second, and that is equals to 2 into 60 second, which is equals to 120 second. So after converting them into second, we will put the value in the formula, that is 2 pi r upon time. So distance we already had calculated, that is 440 upon time is equals to 120. When we calculate this, solve this, then we will find the answer is 3.67 meter per second. So this is the speed of the person who cover the that of the circular park. Okay, so this is the end of the chapter.